keeps knocking, but I just stay home. I ain't picking no flowers for the season out soon. They say it gets darker when you're coming on door. Still looking for the ride at the end of my road. At the end of my road.
This is the NFL on EA Sports as we join you from the so-called Space City, Houston, Texas. And we are underway from Houston. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. So you look at this situation and the relocation. It's worked other places. You've got the 2 teams in L.A. Until recently, we had 2 out of the Bay Area. Of course, the 2 New York teams. Now 2 teams calling Houston home. And we know that they do things big here in Texas. And if these fans here are any indication, this city is ready to support a second team. Second and 6. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Looking to throw. This is caught. It's Brown. And able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play.
He's supposed to run the fucking curl. If he playing off coverage, you have a choice route. Sit down. Oh my God.
Incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. He'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Now going to the air on the opening drive. He's got it. That's complete. And a touchdown here on that 4 Dennis pickup. It goes again to 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
I've been blocking up. I'm a you know, you
And he dropped it about the 11 after only a yard. They work now on 2nd and 9.
You take it off, boy.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off. A pretty decent gain.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. And this one is right through. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
We'll get this to Baker. And he'll take this from one 47-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. When you look at this defense, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
I hate him.
It'll be a Patriot 1st down on a pickup.
He's such a liability, bro.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run on 1st down. Leslie, they'll get it to the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Next receivers don't spread the defense out. They were able to come through with a slash and run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
From the 23, this is 2nd and 3. Throwing here is May. And it's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Patriots are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him. because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way.
Well, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Christian Gonzalez. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Play action, May. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Looking to throw, May. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. They'll throw with May. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he cannot get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, they got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen, go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set them back on second. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. 10 3-yard score after one here on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. That is caught. And they will touch him down the 9 before he gets the first. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Well, it was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this time he's got the look up. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not he takes it inside the 40. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked very well.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one. Well, it looked like a march to the end zone is in a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
In motion right is Pittman. They'll look to throw again. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball. Does the big boy have the juice? And that's the obvious risk you run with a long field goal, lower trajectory, greater chance of having it blocked like it was.
And a lot more pressure on your protection team because, as you noted, longer field goal, it's going to come out a little bit lower. So that means you got to get those hands down and out of the lanes. That didn't happen.
Great job picking it up and giving them great field position. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set them up with golden field position. And they go play action with May. Rolling to his right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. To throw, it's May. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, you see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. He's still on his feet, and he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Oilers have cut it back within a score. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
This 2nd and 4. Here's May. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A gain there of 21 yards.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. To the air, May. And he's got his man out of the slot, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On first down, Leslie. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. From the 9, 2nd and 5. They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of him. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete. Momentum might be changing jerseys right now. They just got done. They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3-and-out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And his kick is indeed good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. Big play there. 70 yards. And the Oilers strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. Extra point right down the middle. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this return has come to a great end as he is belted at the end of that one. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Garrett Stingley picks it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
I got just the soul. I keep that stick on me.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete.
He was open.
Incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do you do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going deep for Brown. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Christian Gonzalez. And the Pats will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
They'll start on the ground here on first
What
down.
the fuck?
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
From the gun, it's May. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Off the play fake. Here's May.
It's boxed. That's fucking boxed.
So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And for a right sideline is complete. Another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll throw now on the final play. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Can I? Yes, you can.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively.
Yes, you can.
So with
Yes,
4th
you
down
can.
coming
Yes,
up,
you
they go ahead and
can.
burn it and say we'll see what happens.
I got things.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside.
A lot of turnovers, not a lot of
NFL
points.
on EA Sports.
I keep the same old stuff, got no guy. I eat the same old skirt steak, STK with fries.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
And running with power here. On some hit
I'm gonna
going
go up
on
there.
now.
Do I got a piece? Yeah, I got a piece. Okay.
Tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Good.
2nd and 9 now. And that falls to the ground. Incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw.
Give me that.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now 2nd and 3. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 48 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. Now this time he'll look to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. From 4 yards out. And the Oilers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
But I do not want to go. Spin again.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
Spin again. Spin again. Spin again. Spin again.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Baker. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I'm in the bad formation.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.